All right. It's 9 o'clock. I'll call to order the September regular meeting of the Cape Fear Public Utility Authority Board. First is determine a quorum. I need a motion to excuse Ms. Cannon, Ms. Adams, Mr. Zappel, Mr. Barfield, and Mr. Briggs.
So moved. Second.
Now need to adopt the agenda. Need a motion?
Move to adopt the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we have an award presentation. Well,
thank you, everyone. Bernice, if you'll come on up.
You're just getting all kinds of.
It's about time.
Well, as you all know, we here at CFPUA are fortunate to have an amazing staff full of leaders both within our organization and throughout our community. This leadership was recognized Friday night at Wilma's Women to Watch Awards, where Bernice Sanders Johnson won the 2024 Women to Watch Award for the public sector, recognizing her achievement in leadership at CFPUA, where she was a vital component of the Rock Hill Community Initiative, connecting the Rock Hill community to CFPUA water from private wells, and for being the go-to person for most every developer here in town. And also for her leadership throughout the Wilmington community and throughout the state with the North Carolina State PTA, the Azalea Festival, the Jack and Jill organization, and the 100 Men organization. So she has been a powerhouse leader throughout our community, and Friday night she was surrounded by her Sigma Gamma Rho sisters, bedecked in this wonderful shade of blue, her CFPUA family and her family, her husband Atiba, her daughter Atia, and her son Amir, and joined by her beautiful mother. And we were all there to celebrate her and her accomplishments for all that she does and all she will continue to do for CFPUA and our community. So thank you.
I can tell you this, as a lifelong volunteer of the Azalea Festival, what she has been selected to do, I did that for 8 years, and that's another full-time job. And I'm tickled to death that she got it. They recognize the same things that this company, this outfit does. She'll do a yeoman's job, and glad to have her.
All right, moving on, need a motion to approve the minutes for our regular meeting in August.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Don, any public comments?
No, sir.
All right, skip on down. The consent agenda, we have 7 items on the consent agenda. Any questions or discussion?
I feel like somebody ought to ask something for Rob.
I thought Rob was going to email me some questions. If there are no questions,
Motion to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. New business, administrative report, attorney's report.
I have no report.
All right. Executive director's report.
First, we have our 4 standing reports: key indicator, safety report, environmental report, and strategic plan update. Staff stand ready to answer any questions.
All right. No questions. We'll move on to the committee reports. Executive committee met 9/4/24. The minutes are in the packet. Long-range planning met 8/22/24, and the minutes are in the packet. And finance committee.
Finance Committee met September 4th. Minutes are in the packet. And now we'll have a presentation on our monthly financials.
Good morning. We are still presenting the financials for June 30. We are very close to finishing up the audit. They will be here next month to make their presentation, the auditors will. And so, as you can see, our unassigned is sitting at $46.82 million. As you know, our goal, or our goal is $50 million. As you can see, that's a deficit this year of about $3.175 million. We've been discussing this for the past several months, and this is most likely the final number. Hopefully, we will be able to make up some of this deficit this year to get back to that $50 million. If not, we will build into the budget next year for FY26 a way to get back to that $50 million. But as you know, our revenues were a little bit lower than projected, and we did, our expenses were very close to 100% of the budget this year. These are our revenues as of June 30. These were the same numbers we presented last month. So as you can see, the usage per ERU is still down, and then our average billed sewer ERUs are below our budgeted projection. So that's what's leading to this negative, unfavorable number here for the revenues. SDCs, we've been discussing for quite a while now as well, still down. Developments, we think slowing, leading to this, and then with the change in the law as well. Our debt capacity, our debt service ratio is at 1.72 for the month end of July, which is down slightly from the prior month. And then we have about $147 million in debt capacity as of July. This is just where our investments are currently. As you can see, we have majority in NCCMT, and the percentage of our portfolio that's earning a return is still above that 95%, and we're about 115 days of liquidity. And then you can see where we are getting a lot closer to that NCCMT return. We expect for our return to actually go above that orange line in a few months, if not next month, because we have some longer yield items out there. And then as you can see, this is what I was discussing. We are at 98.17% of the budget this year, which is up from 95.43% last year. So last year we had that large surplus due to lower than expected expenses, a little bit higher revenue than projected, and this year you can see we were very close on our projected expenses. And just as an update, as our monthly update for the PFAS-related expenditures, this should reflect all new FY25 encumbrances for the year for legal and filters, and everything else from FY24 has been closed out as of now. So I have about $3 million set aside this year for legal. And then that's it. Are there any questions?
Yeah.
So wondering if in the future, as we go along with the merger of Wrightsville and if we could see something about expenses related to that as one of our.
Absolutely.
Yes, yeah. We've set up specific projects for those, so it should be easy to track.
We'll incorporate that into a future financial update, just as we have a specific slide for PFAS, we'll develop something for the consolidation. Two things that I wanted to share. One is we've reached out to the Division of Water Infrastructure to start discussions about, among other things, acquiring the $13 million in one-time fees associated with the consolidation. That will make a difference in terms of closing the gap. Beyond that, I've asked our finance and engineering teams who have been analyzing this downward trend in revenue to prepare something for either long-range planning or finance in the near future, so we can talk to you about these trends and then begin the discussion around, all right, how do we react to those trends? So let you know we're on top of it. That's it, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. We had a presentation on funding resolutions and design build approvals. It's in the packet. We're not doing that today. All right, that concludes finance.
All right, Sustainability Committee, the minutes from the 8/22/24 meeting are in the packet. There is an action item for today. It's a source water protection week resolution, and I need a motion to authorize that resolution.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Human Resources? Neil?
That's you also?
All right.
Just what's in the packet?
The HR Committee meeting met 8/13/24, and the minutes are in the packet.
Question about, might not be on the report, but where do we stand with the employees that we're invited to join us from Wrightsville Beach?
Yeah. We met with 6 of those 7 employees.
What was the question? I couldn't.
I'm sorry, let me repeat the question. The question is, where do we stand with our relationship and our interaction with the employees who will eventually become our employees, so currently at Wrightsville Beach?
Good, thank you.
And the answer to that is, in a previous weekly update, either this one or the one before, we shared that we met with those staff and we provided them an update over the time frame. You may recall the time frame for the actual consolidation is anticipated to be the end of September 2025. But what we committed to do is to meet with those individuals on a monthly basis. One of the future meetings that we will hold with them will be with our HR team, who will discuss the transition. We're in the middle of evaluating where these various positions might land within the organization. Undoubtedly, they're going to still be tied to activities associated with Wrightsville Beach, but they may also get an opportunity to job shadow others. We will also be lining up staff to job shadow those staff members over the next year. And then finally, our workforce development manager will be sitting down with them to talk about some of the benefits we offer around personal development, individual development, that the town doesn't currently offer. So I received very positive feedback from that first interaction, and we will maintain it over the next 12 months.
May I ask, how does our employment and benefits and associated things stack up against what they've been working under?
Well, we're still in the middle of comparing those. They are comparable, and our agreement says that they will receive the same benefits that our current employees receive. There may be some retirement benefits that we need to look at more closely that may be associated with the town that are not associated with CFPUA. But beyond that, they seem to line up very well. I think the real challenge we have is understanding, all right, the job description that a person holds, what will be the job position that they will hold with us. And that's an HR-related activity that we've still got to go through the analysis.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All right, any old business?
I'm sorry, I'm
Sorry.
going to ask. On the indicators, you had said that you were going to change one of the reports to show the impact of apartments.
Yes, actually, that was part of the conversation that we've been having in terms of bringing a report back to one of our committees to see what, if any, impact the uptick in apartment construction might have on our revenues. I don't know if we have an answer ready to go today, because we were going to, I don't want to say validate, but we were going to try to do a sensitivity analysis on some of the things that John had developed. Any thoughts, John?
Yeah, so what I did is I took that key indicator that shows the number of new meter sets over the past year, and I adjusted it to those ERU scaling factors that the AWWA puts out. So a 5/8 inch meter is the equivalent of 1 residential unit. A 1 inch meter is the equivalent of 2.5 residential units, right? So there's these different scaling factors. And when I did that, the trends are exactly mirror. Of course, the ERU is going to be higher than just the unadjusted meter number, but over time, that spread is uniform, so it all moves together. What we would expect is if the higher ERUs became, more of those new meter sets, even though they're fewer, if they were higher ERUs, we'd start to see that spread converge, right? And we didn't see that. Now, what Ken is referring to is Gary and I are going to work on comparing those ERU scaling factors to what I guess is actually happening in the community. So if there's an apartment complex that has 150 units, let's say, and they have a 3-inch meter, okay, that scaling factor may be, let's say 20 or something, right? So we want to kind of do that analysis there, because what we were thinking is, the denser our development is, people opting for apartments and that more dense development versus those single family homes, we're actually maybe losing out on some revenue just because of what's available out there in the market, or what new home buyers or new residents may be choosing to opt for, going for an apartment versus a single family home. So I just wanted to do some work on that, and we'll come back with a presentation at a future finance committee or long range planning.
So the question I asked, which I don't think we honestly have an answer to, is we scale up these ERUs based on a published scaling factor from the American Water Works Association. So remind me of, say, of a 5/8 meter versus a 1-inch meter.
2.5, I think, is a 1-inch meter. 1.5, I think, is a 5.
Right. So a 1.5-inch meter could be 5/8 by 3/4 meters. And what I wanted to test the premise on was, all right, for some of these apartment complexes, the scaling factor drifting. And if for some reason it is drifted, we may be undercharging for some of these meters on the system development charges, or not. We just wanted to do a quick sensitivity analysis on that first.
All right. Any other questions? All right. There's nothing new, no closed session. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Let's wipe this down.
19 minutes.
I think that goes into
Congratulations.
the record as